Well, Kansas City's defense dictated this game.
Yes. Yeah. It was like the Kansas City defense of old. Kansas City offense looks better. They really had just outplayed Detroit today.
Welcome to the Saturday versus Sunday podcast. I'm John Barbin. With me is Jeff Dover, and let's talk football.
We're a couple of average football fans that watch college and NFL football. We're here on our Kansas City road trip. We just got back from the Kansas City-Detroit game. We hope we can earn your like and subscribe today. This is our review of the Detroit-Kansas City game. What are your initial thoughts?
Well, Kansas City's defense dictated this game.
Yes. Yeah. It was like the Kansas City defense of old. Kansas City offense looks better. They really had just outplayed Detroit today. Detroit was a good team. It was a really good matchup, really good game, but Kansas City just outplayed them, I think.
Yeah. That opening drive, Detroit went straight down the field, and then there was that wild play at the end there where it was the Montgomery, I think, threw a pass to Goff, and it turned out Goff hadn't come set, I think is what they said.
Yeah.
And then they just ended up kicking the field, and it took a delay of game and then just kicked the field goal anyways. So
yeah, that felt like a big momentum change, right? That was the opening possession.
Yep.
The running back threw the quarterback a touchdown pass, essentially. Then it was called back. No one knew what was happening for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then they settled for a field goal, and that felt like a pretty big momentum change right at the beginning.
Yeah, and because they went straight down the field, and then after that, yards were kind of hard to come by for the Lions. They had the one good drive to end the third quarter. They were moving the ball pretty well there, but those were the only two drives where the Lions were really easily moving the ball, I'd say. Yeah, and for the rest of the game, it was kind of a slog for them. I mean, the Chiefs outgained them in this game too. It's not like it was a lot of yards on either side of the ball, but it was their defense definitely was the story of the game. Yeah,
it was a well-played game, and it was when it's well played, well executed, and there's not like a lot of turnovers, both teams are moving the ball, then it really is about momentum. Like, as any time you were able to get the score, get 7 points instead of 3, that was really the difference here. And it was, that was the Kansas City was able to do it more than Detroit.
Yeah, and then the Chiefs. On the Chiefs' touchdown in the first quarter, so Kansas City held the ball, or Detroit held the ball for 10 minutes in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was
and
crazy.
Then the Chiefs kind of ended off the first quarter scoring a touchdown, but then missed the field goal, and that always feels like a bit of it's just a bummer. Like it's even though it's just 1 point, it doesn't feel right. And then the Lions finally scored a touchdown, and from then it was just a slog for a while. After that, after the Chiefs scored, it was punt, and then finally one more touchdown for the Lions, and then punt, turnover on downs, and that was
No, and you're right. It was really a tale of like two different types of games. Like at the beginning, when Detroit had such a huge advantage with time of possession,
massive,
and then Kansas City just held on the ball and never gave it back. And at the end of the game, they're almost even, 29 minutes to 30 minutes. But it really felt like, Detroit had it all in the first half, but then Kansas City had it all in the second half, and that was what really made the difference.
Yeah, at one point the time of possession was 15 minutes to 7 or something like that for Detroit, like somewhere in the second quarter. No, so they were definitely playing keep away for a while there. But I mean, it's by the end of the first half, it's 13-10 Kansas City. So so all of that playing keep away didn't really do much. Didn't really do much for them.
No, and in Kansas City, the defense, like you said, was really the story of the game. And then 0 turnovers and 0 penalties for Kansas City. So that was a really clean game, didn't make any mistakes, really. And so when you do that and we're able to move the ball in offense, then, you're going to win a lot of games.
And once they took the lead, 13-10, they actually never gave it up.
No, exactly.
So it was, they had them, they were front running the whole second half of the game, and it's just the Lions were just perpetually in catch up. And whenever the Lions scored, the Chiefs immediately answered with a score.
Yeah.
They could never mount the actual comeback here, which is, this is championship type football.
It is.
When you survive the opening rush from the first team, the opening, because the Lions did steal the momentum right away.
Yep.
And then the Chiefs fought back, took it back by the end of the first half, and never gave it up again.
Yeah. No, and you're absolutely right. It was two really good teams going at it. And what'd you think of the environment for Kansas City? Yeah, it was really good. People had said that, here at Saturday versus Sunday, we went to the Mizzou game yesterday against Alabama. Go back and watch that review if you haven't done that already. and then went to the Kansas City game today, and it was a really good atmosphere. It was some people feel that the NFL doesn't quite live up to the college one, but it was Kansas City was an excellent atmosphere. It was a packed house. There was more Detroit fans there than we thought there would be.
Quite a few,
yeah, and it was and it's really loud, as everyone knows. Arrowhead was really loud. You can see why, but yeah, packed place, and really good atmosphere to watch the game.
Yeah. The Mizzou game that was against Alabama, that was a packed house. That came down to the last possession.
Mm-hmm.
So head to head, they both felt like it felt like this Kansas City game felt like a college game.
It did.
Felt like the people had the energy that you would kind of expect out of a college crowd.
Yeah, and significant amounts of tailgating. There was a lot of tailgating, huge parking lot, massive parking lot with lots of cars. And, and everyone there, the head to toe Chiefs stuff. So really popular, but yeah, great environment. So it was good NFL stadium to watch a game at.
Yeah. I mean, Mahomes went 22 for 33, 257, 3 TDs, no picks. It's just a classic game. And same
with Goff. Goff was really efficient too, right? Yeah. 23 for 29 for 200 yards, 2 TDs, no interceptions. It was
just not enough, right?
Yeah.
Just not enough to stay in this game. And again, we're talking about a pretty explosive offense here. But I mean, this is the Chiefs defense just bowing up and playing really well all game long.
Yeah, really contain them. That was the thing. They still, Gibbs still averaged 3.8 yards per carry, had 65 yards. Goff still completed 23 to 29 passes for 200 yards, but so they're going to get theirs no matter what, because they're a good offensive team. But it was the key was really the Chiefs containing them. There's no huge plays. The longest play, it looks like, was 15 yards, for the Lions, and so that's
nothing explosive, which is rare for the Lions. Usually something's going to pop for the Lions.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's actually probably the key. Because otherwise, it kind of looked like a typical Lions offense. They were getting some chunk plays in the running game.
Yep.
And they were hitting St. Brown a lot over the middle in the passing game. But again, nothing downfield.
No.
It was St. Brown, Laporta, like that, Jameis Williams, but everything short, everything to the sides, nothing long. And just Chiefs didn't give up anything downfield, which is part of what you expect out of a Lions game.
Yep, no, for sure. So that was, if you keep everything in front of you and you don't get burned by that, then you force the other team to earn each first down, right? And each step going through. So
Kelsey had a good game, six for 78, and those were, every one of those felt like a big reception.
Yes, they did. Yeah. So there was a couple of key, first, third and longs and to get first downs. So
Mahomes spread it around here. It's like 9 different people at least caught a pass, and Smith-Schuster was in there. Hollywood Brown. It's like everybody got a pass in this game. So I mean, and they actually went for 112 yards on the ground, which is. It's not a lot, but it's enough. And it was more than Detroit.
Yeah, and that's enough to keep the defense honest, right? Because it can't just all be on Mahomes. We've talked about that on the previous show. But if you run enough, then it has to keep the defense has to respect the run, and then you can move around more in offense.
And now it says Worthy only had 1 rush for 6 yards, but the end arounds they get flicked in front.
Yeah.
Right. I guess it's a jet sweep or whatever you want to. I guess there's a different word if the handoff's behind from when he hands it to the front. So he's
a forward pass.
I guess technically a reception pass. So I think almost all of his yards were on that. He had 2 receptions for 20 yards, but I think those were jet sweeps.
Yeah.
So that's a super effective play for them.
It is. Yeah. No, like we said, and it was with him Worthy in the game really changes how this offense looks. It's really important to have that key person there who can really stretch the defense. We talked about this before. I don't know if Juju Smith-Schuster or Hollywood Brown are one receiver 1, but when Worthy's there, then they're a quality wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, it's just that they've settled in. I guess the Kansas City's had a couple of bummer looking games this year, but they've settled in here, and this just looked like a complete win on offense and defense.
Going into it, there's a game they had to have, right? Because you can't go 2-4. 3-3, everything's still in front of you. Yep. There's still they're going to be all right in their division. So they needed to have it. So.
Yeah, this is a Super Bowl. One of the teams with the shortest odds for the Super Bowl, the Lions.
Yeah,
and they pretty much handled them. I think you could say it was really, other than that opening drive, the Chiefs were just kind of in control.
Yeah,
and that's big. That's big for how the season started.
Yeah, no, and they needed to keep pace because the Chargers are 4-2 in their division. Denver's 4-2. They're 3-3. So that, you know, they needed to. They've still got a chance to do well in their.
You got to keep pace with the Colts, baby. The AFC leading.
That's
Colts.
right. I know.
Yeah. So I mean, I think okay, what we're 6 games into the season, things are taking shape here. The Ravens are out. They're a non-issue.
Yep.
The Bengals are out. They were out as soon as Burrow got hurt, so they're a non-issue. And I always bring up the Bengals because Joe Burrow is the only person to beat Mahomes in the playoffs.
Yeah,
right. So that's and to the one Super Bowl he hasn't been to, it's the one Burrow went to.
Yeah.
Right.
And
so
both the Bengals and the Ravens have lost 4 games in a row now as of today.
So both of them are out. I'm trying to think other major players.
Buffalo's
still a player. The Colts, after 6 games, it has to be for real now.
Yeah.
That's now a player in the AFC. The Chargers are really banged up. If they can get healthy, they might be back in the mix. But I mean, we'll have to see. They've got a lot of
holding it together
there.
Yeah.
So it's the stage is set for Kansas City to get themselves back to where we expect them to be.
Yep.
By the end of the season.
Big win. They had to have it, beat a really good team, you know, and it was mistake-free, running just enough, you know, that was really well played.
And it wasn't one of these games where Mahomes had to do all the running.
No.
Yes, he had like 30 yards, but they didn't look desperate. They just when they were there, he just took them.
Yeah.
Yep. There were some good runs. He didn't really put his body in harm's way or anything like that. So I mean, I think that's what their running game is going to be.
Yes.
It's going to be something like this 100, 110 yards. Mahomes gets 25,
Pacheco
30.
or Hunt, you know, 50 yards each, something like that, which is enough to, and then Worthy, couple end arounds like that. That's enough to keep it honest where you can open up the passing game.
I can't tell if it's the blocking's not holding long enough or if Pacheco's vision's just not as good. I have a feeling like if Gibbs was back there, he'd probably get a few more yards.
That's interesting.
The people sitting around us were like, and there's Pacheco. We picked the wrong hole again. It's like, it's funny.
They were, it's like another run for a yard.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Pacheco running right into the back of the line. So I mean, the fans, they want every run to go.
Well, but they've seen it though. They've watched a lot lot and they know that I mean, I can't think of the last time Pacheco had like a 120-yard game where he was right. Like it's not like that. So
he runs so hard, but I maybe his vision's. I mean,
I don't know. I think the line could be better, but I mean, Creed Humphrey is an amazing center, but I don't know. They struggle more. They're better at pass protection than run blocking. That's for sure. The Chiefs' offensive line.
Well, it's a complete win. So what can we say about both teams? So start with the Lions. It's no shame in taking a loss to the Chiefs.
No, I mean, but you're concerned because this is, they won 15 games last year. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So this type of game was something that I think they would have won. You would have expected them to win. They've got a tough one next week against the Bucks. So that's going to be important, So but they didn't play poorly. Like they played okay, just Kansas City played a bit better. So there's a difference to that because there's other games that we talked about today, like the Dallas Panthers one, where like Dallas did not play well. Like their defense did not play well.
Defense never plays well.
No, so like but if you're a Detroit fan, it's tough because this is
even if they were more competitive but still lost.
Yes.
I think you would be like, okay, we can hang in there.
Yes.
This one looks like, we just can't hang in there.
It felt a little more like they got handled a little bit.
And another thing is the Chiefs seemed to get stronger as the game went on.
Oh, that's a good point.
And that's always the sign of a championship team that they get better, they get better. And again, once they took the lead at the end of the first half, they never relinquished it. And every time the Lions got a little bit closer, they pulled away and then really put it away at the end.
Yeah.
So that would be, for a Chief fan, that's a satisfying looking win, even though the people around us wanted it to be 45. They don't want it to be 45-0 every game, right?
They really did.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they're just they're probably Chiefs fans, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure they're sick of the close games. I think they want one that just, oh my God, we can exhale.
Yes.
We can exhale before the last second.
Yeah. They haven't been able to exhale for a long time.
For like a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this seemed like that, but maybe they still didn't like the way it felt with even with the Lions having the ball, even though there was really no chance. So, a little bit of concern for the Lions fans. You'd hope you were more competitive here, but it's no shame in even being beat kind of handily by the Chiefs. And for the Chiefs, that to me looked like maybe the most complete win so far of the year. I know that they crushed the Ravens, but come on, the Ravens are The Ravens.
Yeah, it doesn't look as good now. But
now that everyone crushes the Ravens, here you beat a proper NFC title contender.
Yeah, Detroit's offense is legit, and they contained him, which was really
contained it.
Yeah, which was really important part.
Yeah. So arrows pointing up for the Chiefs, and slightly sideways for the Lions after this week, but I think they'll be fine. All right, is everything on your list?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, that's everything on my list. If you're still with us, we appreciate you checking out the channel. We know it's small. We just started it last year. So if you like what we got going on, you want to support us, a like and a subscribe would go a long way, and we'd super appreciate it. So that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.